in for today's class and done the pink formative. This is the answer key where I talk over what the correct answers are. All right, 5-number summary of a set of data. That is letter A. Minimum, first quartile, median, third quartile, and maximum. 2 through 4, we're going to use this box plot that is shown at the right for the ski resort. The median score was approximately. You will need to look at your graph, and the median is the center of the box. So our median in this case looks like it's pretty close to 76. So letter C is your answer here. Interquartile range. Remember, interquartile range goes from quartile 1 to quartile 3. So it looks like I'm approximately 100 and at 50. So quartile 3 minus quartile 1, approximately 100 minus approximately 50. Looks to me like my interquartile range is 50. So letter B would be your correct answer. All right, I'm going to shift this up a bit. What percentage of years did the snow fall between 52 inches and 125 inches? Okay, recall a stem and leaf plot, or not a stem and leaf plot, I apologize, a box and whisker plot splits your data into 25 or quarters, 25% sections. So this part is 25% from here to here. This part is another 25% of your data from here to here. We have another 25% here. And the last fourth, or the last 25%, lies right there on your picture. We are looking for between 52 and 125 inches. Looks to me like it might be this whole range right there. So looks like I have 25% and 3 sections of it. So your final answer should be 75%. Okay, moving on. For questions 5 through 8, use the test scores of the 15 students that you see provided. All right, being very nice, we have put the data in order already, which is the first step that you need to do with identifying your 5-number summary. Okay, now we're going to look at lower quartile and upper quartile. Well, looks to me like this is my minimum of 44, and since they're in order, 95 is my maximum. I cannot find quartile 1 or quartile 3 until I have identified the actual median of my data. There happen to be 15 students in this list. If I take half of that, that is 7.5. So that means I am looking for the 8th data point in my list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Looks like 71 is my median. All right, once I find my median, now I just look at the bottom half. So 44, 46, 52, 57, 60, 63, and 65. Do not include the 71. So there are 7 pieces of data. I'm going to split it in half. And it looks like there's 3 things below 57 and 3 pieces of data above. So this is quartile 1. Answer for number 5 should be letter E. Do the same thing on the top half for number 6, finding the upper quartile. So there's 7 pieces of data up here. I am going to split it in half. And it looks to me like 87 is going to be quartile 3. And that is letter A. Number 7, find the interquartile range, or the IQR. Recall, when we want to find the IQR, we want to subtract quartile 1 from quartile 3. I called it the good part of the sandwich, the middle 50%, where all the meat and cheese and lettuce and tomatoes and all the good stuff is. All right, quartile 3 was 87. Quartile 1 was 57, and when I subtract that, my final answer is 30, or letter A. Which of the following assists you in finding the outliers? All right, IQR, yes, that helps you, but the IQR only helps you when it is put into a formula. This letter B is only part of the formula. Remember, the lower fence is calculated for an outlier by taking quartile 1 minus 1.5 times the IQR. Once you get that number, anything below that is considered an outlier. There's also an upper fence. And that formula for the upper outlier, if there's ones on the high end, is quartile 3 plus 1.5 times your IQR. So once you plug and chug those numbers into your calculator, you just got to look at your list above and see if there's anything that is below the lower fence or above the upper fence. All right, and let's see here. We are now moving on to using your calculator. So you will see here that I have already entered my data. And it looks to me like that's not showing up. So let's see if I can't. Figure this out real quick. Into your calculator. Remember, to enter data, you are going to press Stat and select Edit. And under List 1, enter these 32 student test scores. How do you find standard deviation using your calculator? That is question 9. Well, what you will need to do is you will need to hit the Stat button. You will arrow over to Calc, and you will select one variable stats. About halfway down the first page, one variable stats. Then you will have to go through and enter your list. So if you put it in list 1, you want to enter list 1 and then hit enter until it goes through the calculations and gives you the page of data that you're looking for. When you do that, about halfway down the first page, you should see an S sub x. And that S sub x did that big ugly formula for us that we talked about in class and gave us C, which is 17.28. Number 10, what does the standard deviation measure? Does it measure the most common value? Nope, that's called the mode. Does it measure the spread? It is a measure of spread. Is it the validity of a measurement? Is it the average number? Or is it the center? Our answer is D, the spread. All right. We can use the range to find spread, which is maximum minus minimum. We also can use standard deviation. And then last but not least, the box plots that we just learned about also tell us information about the spread. Number 11, find the 5-number summary using your calculator. 2 ways to do this. Okay, you can go into second button, y equals, turn on your box plot and make sure you've selected the right things to have that happen. To make it appear on your calculator screen, just a refresher, it's going to be zoom and then push the number 9 and then it should appear on your screen, whatever it looks like. And then last but not least, to find your 5-number summary, you're going to push the trace button, which is up on the top underneath your screen. There's 5 buttons there. And you are going to use the arrow keys. to toggle to your 5-number summary. All right, and if you look at it, you will see that your answer should be letter B. All right, 12, create a box plot that represents the given data using your calculator. Well, basically, we're looking at which picture looks like what we have on our calculator when we entered in this data. And that would be letter A. All right, we are done with this. Take a look at the things that you got right and the things that you got wrong. And I would go and do check number 2 on your learning scale or your learning goal scale. So go ahead and do check number 2, and let's see if after this formative you have any difference of opinion from when you did check number 1 over our digital learning day. Then after that, I'm going to ask that you guys just complete page number 10 from the blue packet, which the sub should have for you. We're starting our review for our test. All right, that's it. Hope you had a good day.